The Morgan family drove into the village as the sun began to set. The air grew cold. The peaks of the Himalayas loomed above them. Their destination was Black Mountain, the tallest peak of all. John the father grinned. He loved an adventure. His wife, Mary, was less enthusiastic. She held their daughter, Lily, close. Lily shivered. The mountain seemed to stare down at them. They reached the village inn as darkness fell. The innkeeper was an old man with kind eyes but a worried face. He greeted them with a warning. "Black Mountain is dangerous," he said. "Many who climb it do not return." John laughed. "It's just a mountain," he said. Mary felt uneasy. Lily clutched her mother's hand. The next morning the family set off. The sun was bright but the air remained cold. They ignored the warnings of the villagers. They were determined to conquer Black Mountain. The trail was steep and rocky. The air grew thinner with every step. Mary and Lily struggled to keep up with John. The wind howled through the peaks. It seemed to whisper their names. Lily felt a cold hand on her neck. She turned, but there was no one there. Mary felt a chill. She could not shake the feeling that they were being watched. The sun began to set as they climbed higher. Shadows stretched across the mountainside. The air grew colder still. John, however, was excited. He could almost taste victory. Mary wanted to turn back, but John insisted they were almost there. Lily tripped over a rock and fell. As she reached out her hand, she touched something cold and slimy. She screamed. It was the skeleton of a hand. Mary gasped in horror. John, however, brushed it aside. He was determined to reach the summit. They pressed on, their fear growing with every step. They reached the summit as darkness enveloped the mountain. The wind howled, lightning flashed. In the distance, thunder rumbled. At the center of the summit was a large, flat stone, an altar. John let out a shout of triumph, but his victory was short-lived. From the shadows, figures began to emerge. They were like people, but their skin was gray and rotting. Their eyes glowed red. They moved slowly, their moans echoing in the night. Zombies. Mary screamed. Lily buried her face in her mother's coat. John stood frozen in fear. Section 5. The Witch's Wrath. Then, a figure materialized on top of the altar. She was old and withered, with long white hair and piercing green eyes. She wore a black robe that billowed around her. She smiled, a cruel and wicked smile. "The witch, you have dared to trespass on sacred ground," the witch hissed. Her voice echoed through the mountains. "Now you shall pay the price." She raised her arms. The wind howled louder. The zombies closed in. Mary, remembering the words of an old legend, reached into her pocket and pulled out a small silver locket. She held it up towards the witch. "Protect us!" she cried. The locket pulsed with a warm light. The witch shrieked and shielded her eyes. The zombies hesitated. It was their chance. "Run!" Mary yelled. She grabbed Lily's hand and they fled. They didn't look back. They could hear the witch's screams behind them. The moans of the zombies echoed in their ears, but they didn't stop. They ran until they collapsed, exhausted, at the edge of the village. Where was John? They searched frantically, but he was gone. Had he escaped, or had the curse of Black Mountain claimed him? Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, but John never returned. The villagers shook their heads sadly. They had warned them. Then one night Mary woke to a sound outside their window, a low moan. She looked out and saw him, John. But he was different. His skin was gray. His eyes glowed red. He reached for her, his hand outstretched, his moan filled with an unspeakable hunger. Mary slammed the window shut and screamed. The villagers arrived, armed with pitchforks and torches. They drove the creature away, but they knew it was too late. The curse of Black Mountain had followed them home. Mary and Lily left the village, fleeing the horror of that night, but they could not escape the curse. It followed them, haunted them. They were trapped in a nightmare. Everywhere they went, they saw glimpses of John, heard his moans in the wind, felt his cold, dead eyes watching them. The curse of Black Mountain had claimed him body and soul, and it seemed that it would never let them go. They were forever haunted. The end.